This is mamish mind-boggling. The Nesiv Shalom is teaching us, based on a medrash, how do you help somebody? How do you save somebody? And the answer is, you need to connect to them. So the person you're saving has a problem. He's broken. He's brokenhearted, emotionally, psychologically, psychiatrically, spiritually. But if you're up here and they're down here, you cannot save them. You cannot redeem them. And it's a medrash. Hashem tells Moshe Rabbeinu, you're the only one that can redeem Klal Yisrael. Why? If Moshe Rabbeinu would have not been up for the job, why couldn't somebody else redeem Klal Yisrael? Even though I want to redeem them, but I need a shliach. And nobody else can be a messenger. Why? And let's understand how to help people in our door. He says as follows, that you can only help somebody if you can get down to their level. Now, the Redeemer has to be healthy. The Redeemer has to be strong. The sick person who you're redeeming, who's jailed by addiction, by spiritual, whatever is causing them to be down here, the Redeemer has to be healthy. But if the Redeemer has ego, he cannot connect to that person. And some people, they can go a little bit lower. They can only redeem people a little bit sick. This is what the Baal Shem Tov said, that the Nesiv Shalom brings down, HaTzadik HaGadol B'Yoyser, the greater the Tzadik, Yachal Lehoiv HaRasha HaGadol B'Yoyser. He can love, he can bond with and love, connect. Love is a connection with the greater the Rasha. People who say, oh, get this kid out of town, get this Rasha out, they are limited. Their love can only love a little bit of a Rasha. But if they work on themselves to become elevated, they can love even a bigger Rasha. Isn't that interesting the way this works? It's the opposite. The Arabs, they say kill the infidels. The more frum the Arab is, the more he wants to kill. No, by us, we love the infidels. We have ahava, we have ahavas Yisrael. And we feel bad that somebody is struggling physically. We go visit them in the hospitals, emotionally, psychologically, psychiatrically, spiritually. We feel bad for them. That's why it was always from every tzaddik, how do you deal with someone who's struggling with Yiddishkeit? It was always love. It wasn't an American concept, unconditional love. You gotta love them no matter what. You have to show them who's boss. No, every tzaddik, from the Chazon Ish to Baal Shem Tov to wherever you go, I have a collection of over 4,000. It was always that the only way to bring somebody in is with varmkeit and acceptance and love and a mitzvah of ahavas Yisrael is even for those who are sinning. And the Pele Yoyitz and the Toima Devaira. Where did this come from, this idea? Bah! All those people who are, bah, who make that noise, they cannot redeem. And it's so interesting. You see that even those who are trying are limited. Limited. There are people who are in the field, but they're limited. And there are people who have more of a power because they have less limitations on themselves. So Hashem tells Moshe Rabbeinu, listen to this. Klal Yisrael is in such a low matziv, they're mamish mem teshari tuma, oiv de avodah zara, heferu bris milah. That the only way that they can be redeemed is by somebody who could feel as low as them, but someone who's not as low as them. Someone who is holy. Moshe Rabbeinu was the holiest, but who can feel in his ego, I'm nothing. Moshe Rabbeinu, his bechina was Anav Mikol Adam, V'Ish Moshe Anav Mikol Adam, Anav Ma'oid Mikol Ha'adam Asher Al Pnei Adama. Okay, and he says that his bechina, his concept, the way he looked at himself was Anachnu Ma. I'm nothing. I'm worthless. So Hashem says, you're the only one who can get low enough to connect to them. You're the only one who is so oiskarbit. You're so holy. You're so high that you have no ego. You have no zich. You have nothing left that's going to block you from being able to be connecting to those on the lowest level. Kadosh Baruch Hu says, "Em ein ata goyel ein zlotzcha goyel, ki legeula zois tzrichem goyel, shu b'madrega hagdoyle b'yoyser, shalev nishber v'nitke, ki rak b'koyach hamida hazois, hoyse hageula yechoyle liyois." If a person has an ego, I'm the best boy, I'm frum, I'm rich, I'm this, I'm anything, that blocks him from being able to help those who are more broken than he is. So the trick of redeeming other people is his batlus, is realizing, like Moshe Rabbeinu knew who he was. He knew he's the only one who went to Shemayim. He spoke to Hashem, panim el panim. But he knew that everything that I have is only from Hashem. Being wealthy or physically healthy or spiritually frum is not a problem. It's only a problem if you think that you're better than someone else. But once you realize that I'm so lucky that I was gifted by Hashem to be able to be this way, and it has nothing to do with me. V'nachnu ma. There's no part of me that is my success. And you're able to really have no ego and really work on yourself to not feel that you are anything. The lower you can go in your own mind of recognizing that you're amazing, you're big bal stuck and you're big bal kisher and you're big ben Torah, but that's a gift from Hashem. Banachnu ma, me alone without Hashem, I'm nothing. And maybe if I would have had the nisyanis of this person, I would be much worse than them. Maybe I was born with better midos, but if I was born with their midos, I'd be much worse than them. Not to judge other people, not to think we're better than other people. That person can then afterwards connect. You see some people that are struggling, and they meet all kinds of people in the community. And a lot of them have this ego, and they can't connect. And some of them, they could be even richer, and even bigger Talmud Chacham, and even more Chashuv, but they don't have the ego, and they can look at a person without looking down at them, and I want to help you. And they can bond with them. You see them. Those are the people that the broken people are drawn to. They tell me all the time. I come into shul, there's only a few people that I see that they're not pushing me away, even b'machshava, that they don't judge me, they don't look down at me. And those are the people who can help. Every person in Klal Yisrael has to realize that it's our own ego that is getting in the way of being able to be a redeemer. Not everybody can be a redeemer on Moshe Rabbeinu's level, okay, but everybody has to be a redeemer. Everybody has to redeem those around them, not look down at them, not cast them away, not say Shalom Yeli. They close your door like Kol Dichvin Yesav Yechel on Pesach night. You close your door, and all the kids outside starving for attention or starving for whatever. No, not my problem. No. Friday night after the meal, walk around, go to the park. Fine, just chill. Don't look down. You'll see they open up the sheifelach, the sweethearts. There's so many opportunities and mitzvahs that are all around us, unfortunately, in our diamonds that are just feeling cast away, like nidachim. That's our opportunity. Why aren't you redeeming? Why aren't you redeeming anybody? Why do you say, oh, that's disgusting. I'm so great. Ugh. What is that? Tzaddikim don't talk that way. Tzaddikim don't think that way. Tzaddikim don't feel that way. Tzaddikim have the ability of drawing in anybody, not feeling that they're greater than anybody. That's the real way to redeem. And that's what the Medrash is saying. Medrash is saying, Moshe Rabbeinu, the Yidden are so low that nobody else can be as low as you can to redeem them. No healthy person can feel as low as you are. Only Va'ish Moshe, that's Anav Ma'oid Mikala, that's what's necessary to be able to get so low. He didn't lower his standard of Yiddishkeit. He was just low in his standard of himself, of thinking that he is something to be so special and that I'm better than somebody else. That's what we have to learn in order to help other people in our dar. We have to learn to start devaluating what we think we are and to start being able to be redeemers for those who are waiting to be saved. We could all save neshamas.